Hey, everybody.
Last segment would have been a good time for me to bring up my limited fake character.
Ooh.
Obi-Wan Stat Kenobi.
Oh, God.
Weird.
Let's hear from Obi-Wan.
No, that's all it is. It's just the name of a character.
Oh, you have nothing?
But you said it in like a mystical, spacey voice.
No, that was
it had
like
an
a
accent.
Pittsburgh. That was like a
It sounds
Obi-Wan Stat Kenobi.
It sounds more like Scott Van Pelt's Baltimore accent that makes Tim Kirchin laugh.
Don't compare Baltimore and Pittsburgh, Woody.
It's just the Pimlico. That's
he
really
does
all
do
it
that.
is.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he does. So what's the name of your character?
Obi-Wan Stat Kenobi.
So
is
it's
it
like
one
a bit of
stat
English accent?
or one stat?
No, it's one stat. The pit
got
coach. It doesn't work as one stat. You're
You know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is?
Yes.
I don't. That's why it's a limited fake character.
Got it.
I don't watch Star Wars.
Okay.
You don't know anything. So all you have is that the only part of the joke you have is that Obi-Wan
Stat Kenobi.
So is it a wizard that's really smart with a mustache that whenever the galaxy is in peril, punts scared on fourth down?
Sure. I mean, you can come up with whatever story you want. I just said it was a limited fake character.
It's a very defensive.
Be whatever you want it to
very,
be, Dan.
Very defensive general.
I think the mustache is like a key, but I haven't thought that far.
I think this is a great character, and I think someone should play Obi-Wan Stet Kenobi wearing draped with a black, having a black hood over his head, mystical, and also the mustache coming out. And in all situations where the galaxy is in peril, he does the most conservative, scared thing. He just runs Ricky Williams right into the line.
Yeah, Darth Vader always gets the first swing in on Obi-Wan Stat Kenobi.
One trick pony.
And he's always responding. He's just trying to fend him off, defend, and then win it late.
I love this character. I think they're like an old grizzled coach. The mustache, it's a mystical mustache, right? And
yes.
It should be just a mustache and a hood, no face.
Yeah, the force comes from the mustache. Right, so he if you ever shaved, I feel like there's probably a pivotal plot point in which someone tries to shave the mustache of Obi-Wan Kenobi and over my dead body. Wan Stat Kenobi, excuse me.
You're reading it like something that would soothe me on a Calm app. Your accent, there's something about it that I want to guide me through meditation.
Well, it's like the Pittsburgh accent is not my native tongue, Dan. So I'm working on something here. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I got a few key words.
There's a little bit of English accent in there though, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is English.
Is he?
Yeah, he speaks in an English accent. I
Jessica,
believe.
just to be clear,
no?
Ewan McGregor?
I'm not sure.
Is that Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I'm always surprised by the
I don't know
actors
Star Wars.
when they reveal a different accent, and I thought that they were
Matthew Rice yesterday.
Happened
He's
so
Welsh.
often. I'm confused all the time how well they fake an American accent. But Jessica, to be clear, your idea is not merely limited by itself. It's terrible, but there are the seeds for something there on a character that can grow, do mystical football things. I want this character to spend its time around our football season, just lording over the proceedings and in all the important spots, just giving the ball to Ricky Williams and running straight into the line and then punting.
It's a limited fake character. That's what I said. It's a limited fake character.
It's time to build it out to a full fake.
We can work on it, I guess.
Who are the stormtroopers? It's Jay Fiedler. It's AJ Feely. They don't do anything. They do everything 6 yards at a time.
It's all of the good defensive players that carried the Dolphins to 10 wins a season while the offense was awful.
But when you say the mustache has force, it doesn't have force.
It does, though. I mean, Dave Wanstead, for me, draws his power from as a coach from his mustache.
Yeah, but what powers? I mean,
whatever success. I mean, you guys tell me all the time that Jay Fiedler wasn't that bad, and that I shouldn't be as critical of the Dolphins in that era. They won a bunch of games, and I have too high of a standard now because Dave Wanstead was great.
Jay, no, he was not great. He was Juan Stash the entire time he was the coach because he came after Shula and Jimmy Johnson and then just desecrated everything they had done
Didn't the
by
University of
punting all
Miami-
the time, scared on 4th and 1
Didn't the University of Miami want to give him like a 50-year contract?
Yes.
He had
Yes, they
powers.
did.
To
He
punt.
had powers
Yep.
back then.
to punt.
Can you imagine if the University of Miami was still paying that, like
It
Notre
would be.
Dame was paying Charlie Weiss for forever?
You guys mentioned as Miami gets into the game that Mario Cristobal ended the turnover change, which spawned 1,000 bad imitations. Did it spawn any good imitations?
I actually think
plank.
the plank was good. I
plank
believe there
is
was
good.
one in which you threw the football into a trash can. That was delightful, just for the visual.
You don't even remember what team it is, so it can't
No,
have
I
been that
don't.
good.
There were some
Are we gonna
weapons
bury
as
it
well.
with Greg Cody's shoe? Are we gonna give it a funeral?
A chain roll.
We should actually do that. We should
A chain roll.
Chain-a-roll, it's funny.
Somebody should bear. Look, man, it lived a good life. It streaked across the sky. It was a lot of fun, and it birthed a whole lot of imitators. That deserves a better burial than new coach just got here. Yeah, we don't like our trinkets. Get that fun out of here. We're not doing that anymore. It's from a previous regime. I'm here to clean it up. Look, man, as far as these stupid things go, it was an icon.
It is the greatest icon for success for University of Miami football in the last 20 years.
Can you be an icon for success if you haven't been that successful?
I mean, they were 11-0
But that's
one
the
season.
greatest thing
They
to come
were
out of that
11-0
program.
one season.
Yes, they
I mean,
were.
11-0 is
They beat
impressive.
Notre Dame. I mean,
Yeah,
they
beat
didn't
Notre.
even make a playoff.
I know they got
So?
to the Orange Bowl. They unfortunately lost to
Jessica's
Pitt.
right,
So
though.
when I make these same excuses for Notre Dame, just so you know, you cannot call me out for them because Notre Dame
mean,
has had undefeated seasons. They have made bowl games. They've made playoff games. They made BCS games. They were in a national championship 10 years ago. They didn't win most of those, but I can still make that argument. You cannot make that argument back to me unless you validate my argument.
I think that Notre Dame gets far too much shit on this program. Notre Dame is a very, very good football school. Probably right now, like the 6th or 7th best football program in the country.
Mad Dog yesterday, and
Name
we
5
missed
better.
it. We missed it because it's Wednesday and we always forget and we don't do planning around here. But he said that Notre Dame is the best program in the history of college football.
well, it was most storied,
Most
which
storied.
is a different, I think, metric than best program. Because storied implies there's like a lot of mythology and story around a program, in which case I agree with that list because I think Notre Dame, for a myriad of reasons, is very storied.
Miami
Not
was
necessarily the best program.
Miami was not on that list. Miami doesn't have as many stories, but also you can't be a story
well, that's
program.
stories you can't tell. I mean,
A lot of stories you can't tell. You cannot be a storied program unless you've had also a great deal of success, though. So they might not be synonyms, best and storied, but there were no bad programs up there. But Whittingham can be right and wrong. Whittingham can be right that in 20 years, the University of Miami has not birthed a bigger icon than the turnover chain. And also, that's deeply pathetic.
They went an entire, I guess, 11/12 of a regular season undefeated. They were number 2 in the country
They were
that
number
season.
1 going into the last game of a
that's
season.
right. That's right. They were number 1 in the country that season.
They
That's
were struck down by Obi-Wan Kenobi's successor.
well done.
I think I'm a day late on this one, but I also think that what I'm about to say is slightly surprising. So let's play the celebratory music first before I give the people the information here on somebody's big day.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
Steven Adams
Wow.
is 29 years old.
No way.
What?
Not possible.
I'm older than Steven Adams.
He does look like a pirate who is 300 years old but hasn't actually aged. But the age is never 29.
I feel like he's been traded to 7 teams. His time with Oklahoma City, I thought, carried him into his 30s, and now he's, Memphis and New Orleans? He's been traded twice, and he's only 29?
Mm-hmm. He looks like that. He's only 29.
It's the looks like that. It's not the number of trades
I
for
just
me.
feel like he's been in my life for a very long time.
Yes.
He's only been on 3 NBA teams, though.
Yeah, I just thought that stint in Oklahoma City was longer.
But I'm not doing it based on trades. I'm doing it on just he's looked like somebody who's not 29.
He looks like he'd be a great extra on Our Flag Means Death.
Oh, but he'd be too good. He'd be too much of an actual pirate who is excellent and looks too much the part.
One of the real pirates on the show. Spoiler alert.
There's nobody. I haven't gotten that far into it yet. There's nobody in sports right now who looks more like a pirate than him. Correct?
It's the beard. Beards make everyone look older. If you want to look distinguished and older and gentlemanly, you need a big beard that is well groomed and well kept.
I think even if you were clean shaven, I would have thought that he's 37, just on the basis of his hair, of his physique. It's also that the tattoo makes him look very distinguished as well. I think for me, Clive, the best tattoo in the NBA is Steven Adams.
The best tattoo?
Yeah,
Why did you hit me with a Clive in the middle of that?
Yeah.
Where's Clive?
Yeah, for me, Clive,
unnecessary.
He has the best tattoo. I think it's the coolest looking sleeve in the NBA.
I can't believe that he's younger than you are.
Crazy.
I'm now imagining you in the post.
just like him throwing one elbow into me and me going flying into row 10.
Does he look the most like a pirate?
There can't be anybody else.
Well, in the history, Johnny Damon, I think. I don't know.
She is saying that Jessica is saying that a beard is what does it, but there are a lot of beards and not a lot of dudes who look like pirates, I don't think.
You know what? I don't even think he looks that much like a pirate. I think he looks like a mystical aquatic figure, like Aquaman or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he looks like Jason Momoa. That's what you're doing there.
Right.
That's all you're doing there. Aquaman didn't look like that. That's Aquaman. Nobody's looked like Momoa. You're just doing the most recent incarnation of Aquaman.
The original incarnation of Aquaman was plain vanilla. Like, I'm serious. If you go back, look at the cartoon, Super Friends, all that. It was like he was very
crappiest of the superheroes, Aquaman.
Easily, but just a common.
Whoa,
he didn't look.
Wait a minute.
He was Dan. Come on.
Wait a minute. Let's think it through. Let's think it through for a second.
Ant-Man, come on.
Ant-Man's a good show.
Are we doing League of Justice?
He's a
What are we
man who's
doing?
an ant. Come on.
Okay, what's happening right now? Please, I'm going to need everyone to gather around here because Stugotz right now is about to show his age. I am not a Marvel expert, okay? But the people that Stugotz is summoning from Justice League, he is about to find them on his computer, and this is a pathetic group of superheroes, and it is not a modern day. As Thor crushes at the box office, and the best movies, the biggest movies we're making for hundreds of millions of dollars are really well-made superhero movies. The Aquaman that Stugotz is thinking of is a pathetic Aquaman.
Also a cartoon.
But it's a cartoon from the early 70s. And who else is in this group in the Justice League? Because this is childhood Stugotz. This is, I think, 8-year-old Stugotz watching cartoons before he goes to school. And this is an Adam West Batman.
It's really, for me, it's the dream team. I mean, it is. The dream team of superheroes. You're in a Justice League. There's a league of justice, and they were chosen to be in it. And they all live in the same place. I mean,
who's in it? And who is it? Again, I am taking you through the eyes of a childhood Stugotz. This is the superhero age that is just after Adam West as Batman in the 60s. A rubber shark is on the ladder that hangs from a helicopter.
One of the all-time YouTube clips.
Because our special effects are not any good. And this is just a small toy rubber shark that is hanging from a ladder as Adam West kicks at it.
I was imagining it as like someone with their hand in a shark sock puppet. That's what it looks like on the clip.
Stugotz, who is in this Justice League that you speak of so reverentially from your childhood?
Well, you have Superman, of course. You have Batman. You have Robin. You have Wonder Woman. And you have Aquaman. That was the big five, and then they added along the way, and that's it. They added Flash Gordon. They added some other ancillary superheroes, but the main five, which is the Super Friends, okay? And again, there was a Justice League. Those are the five right there.
Did Wonder Woman have powers other than the invisible plane? That version of Wonder Woman.
Pretty good power.
That version of Wonder Woman, but is it better than Aquaman's powers? Because that Aquaman was not very intimidating.
You can also get Robin a bit crappy as well.
Robin, super crappy, isn't he?
Yeah. As a superhero, I think absolutely up for this conversation.
Right.
Now, I've gone even deeper here, and I Googled worst superheroes. And from a Marvel comic, the number one Or should I do it top 5 style? Should I do top
let's
top
do,
5
but
or
top
worst 5?
Top 5 worst superheroes ever as judged by random internet site. But number 1 is going to be the worst superhero ever, correct? So
Yeah.
Ant-Man is going to be, we've talked, Stugotz, I believe that Hollywood can make anyone a superhero, an action star. They've done it with the Parks and Rec guy. They've done it with The Office. They've done it with Paul Rudd. In Ant-Man, that anybody can be a superhero once Hollywood starts throwing hundreds of. It doesn't need to be Momoa. You're telling me, is Ant-Man on this list?
No, you will not have heard of a single one of these.
They're all
because
worse than that.
They're all
Somehow.
from comics that never actually made the movies. So,
But if I'm never going to have heard of
2032, there's going to be a movie for some of these because they're running out of stuff.
are they running out of stuff? It doesn't seem at all like they're running out
Not
of
when you
stuff.
have this top 5 list.
Couldn't you just keep doing Thor again and again and just squeeze all the sexy you can out of the Hemsworths for the next 10 years?
I'll squeeze in there. Number 5 from the Marvel Comics, Squirrel Girl.
What are her powers?
Born with a fuzzy squirrel strong skills, Squirrel Girl has taught in her local high school. She escaped and found shelter in the nearby forest and soon became their master in the squirrel population and had a specific bond with Monkey Joe and was a sidekick to one of her squirrel fans. She became Iron Man's sidekick, packed with new confidence. She embittered Iron Man and exhibited her squirrel-based strength, but the youth did not amuse him.
Number
I kind of like Squirrel Girl.
Same here.
Sounds kind of it sounds more interesting than Ant-Man.
Number 4.
Mannequin. Another Alpha Flight member, Roger Boakes, formed a mission bent and could not safely phase out his robotic armor. He was sent for treatment to the New Life Clinic. Dr. Knapp has maintained contact for some time now with the Canadian super team. He formed a strong connection with Persuasion, slowly but gradually in different stages of evolution. Mannequin will form into 3 separate entities. 1, Proto, 2, Ape Man, and 3, Highbrow, an evolved man with a mixed body and technology.
Mannequin.
Mannequin.
There's a superhero and it's a mannequin, but it's not a mannequin. Sometimes it's an ape. Number 3.
Crypto the Superdog. Crypto was the pet puppy on Krypton Superman until he was sent to space, and it devastated the world. When arriving on Earth, he is an accomplished canine with comparable powers to Superman.
Really?
What's wrong with this one?
Comparable powers to
The
Superman.
dog.
It seems impossible.
Crypto unintentionally presses some keys on board the submarine, allowing the ship to sleep deeply as the ship returns to Earth.
Number 2.
Leather Boy.
That's terrible.
For several causes, Leather Boy may be one of the worst superheroes on the to grace the book page for several reasons. First off, he doesn't have any true superpower to forgive him if he was Batman. However, he is not. He's a man who is searching for BDSM who has a classified ad for superheroes.
Really?
So it's just a man searching the classifieds for superheroes? There's someone worse than that?
Yep.
Number 1.
Doorman.
What does Doorman do?
He's just somebody who runs. He's somebody standing at the front of your building at park and.
A member of Great Lakes Avengers, his strength was to become a portal across and around him to bring up other characters.
Great Lakes of
I gotta tell you,
Erie.
that's a great power, though, to be a portal. I mean, I feel like it is. No?
No.
The doorman. I mean, come on.
No one else is just envisioning someone on Park Avenue
Yes.
opening the door.
Big hat on.
Wearing a coat and tails.
What does this character look like?
This says his power as a literal door is sufficiently lame, but its power is confined to touching areas and the lame scale bursts.
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks like a Lego. It looks like a Lego with like claw hands. It's a very crappy superhero.
I believe we have just achieved, as superhero movies are bigger than they've ever been, the single worst conversation ever had around this popular subject.
It's so popular, and I don't think there's a single person in this room that watches any of these movies.
No, it's a major
No,
blind
no.
spot for this show.
Yeah.
Like the Meadowlark extended universe covers it extensively. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for that sort of thing, there's places for you
Howard
to
Bryant
go,
loves
but-
it, and Amici loves it, and Amin can't get enough of it.
But don't you think the Super Friends, Dan, just thinking about it, are really like the Power Five, right? It's the original Dream Team. They're the best superheroes of all time.
Robin,
Superman.
Robin stinks.
Yeah.
Robin stinks as a superhero. He's just a dude who's hanging on to Batman.
Right.
Like, what are Robin's powers? He just helps Batman every time he's in trouble.
Batman doesn't have powers. He's a vigilante.
Robin had it rough, man.
Yeah.
His family died.
That was it. Just grief was his superpower?
Yeah.
Batman's.
Don't you feel bad for Robin?
You pitied him?
Man, when that family fell from those trapeze things in that movie.
Terrible, yeah.
Oh, it's just slow motion, too. Why do you got to do that in slow
I have a
motion?
list.
Terrible movie.
I have a list
Batman
of
took
Rob.
him in, I mean.
I have a list of Robin's skills and abilities. It says genius level intellect, peak physical conditioning,
Neither of those things are true.
master martial artist, acrobat, escapologist, and swordsman.
Can really ride a motorcycle.
Master of stealth,
Sidecar.
master of various weapons, advanced technological proficiency, and access to vast wealth and criminal records.
Am I an idiot for not thinking that Robin was some sort of sophisticated superhero? I thought he was just somebody who hung out next to Batman, who was also a bit fraudy in the superhero category. He was just a man in a costume.
I mean, you're just thinking of sidekicks, second bananas.
That's
You
me.
relegated them to that.
Now I'm just picturing Robin like doing their own thing, like just standing in a room dancing on their own.
Did any of you watch the ESPYs last night?
No.
No, why would I?
I want some of it.
And what were
Why
your,
would you?
It was just one of those things where it's like, it might come up on the show. So, and it was like, what else would I put on?
It's the slowest sports day of the year. That's the reason it exists on that day.
There's so many good shows on right now.
Yeah, something that's not sports.
Yeah, the shows thing. I have a real blind spot when it comes to shows. I don't watch anything.
Right.
I'm just watching sports. I'm just getting from one sports thing to another.
But you love network television now, just like me.
You gotta check out
Yeah.
the bear.
Right. I mean, shows are really complicated. They are.
Where did he come from? Where did Harry?
I love the bear.
The bear's good.
It's becoming Eric Reed.
Ew.
Did you watch any of
That
the
was
England-Spain
sensual.
Euro match yesterday, Woody?
No, I saw the highlights. I did not get a chance to, but yeah, that was about the only good sporting event that was on yesterday.
Pretty good. Now they're going to the semis, England.
Stugotz, you spit at the ESPYs, and it is an ambitious project. No one else in sports is doing it. It's an awards party night, and whether or not you like it or anybody out there, it's an easy thing to dislike, as ESPN, a lot of people have problems with ESPN and can make it easy to dislike, but it's an ambitious effort. They raise a bunch of money, and they try to handle entertainment with people who aren't really entertainers that way. And Steph Curry decided to do it. They did some skits and whatnot. I can't help but remember the reason I thought that Klay Thompson was just, given an award because Klay Thompson would show up, and then everyone's in bed together. That's a partnership. Let's have a night. Let's throw a party. We'll spend a lot of money. It'll be a lot of fun. Will the famous people come? Make ESPN, make it a gala, make everything feel big. I was remembering back to when Lance Armstrong was the host, how much trouble I got in for being on PTI, and just it was like that week being at every turn. Isn't this Barry Bonds with the circumstantial evidence? Like everything around him. Like, why is he hosting this? and I got into all sorts of trouble because no, Lance is different for all the reasons Lance is different, and he didn't
It's an
turn out.
American hero you're questioning.
Yes,
Yep.
but he was hosting the ESPYs, and that meant something different. I think it's probably faded, right? As your entertainment options have changed, I'm guessing the ESPYs and ratings have gone down every year,
Well,
right?
what's weird is that it went up because they moved to ABC. It's no longer an ESPN production. The ESPYs are on ABC now.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so
I think the ESPYs were fun to watch when I was younger. Like I really liked seeing all the
it was
celebrities.
it was
hang
our
out with
limited
each other.
options. It was our limited options.
There was
Like,
also a lot of drama this year with ESPN not inviting Aaliyah Boston to the ESPYs because she was up for, I think, Women's College Player of the Year, and they didn't invite anyone from that category in the men's or women's. But last year they invited Paige Beckers, who won the award, and she gave a speech last year about how like she feels privileged because she has a bigger platform being a white athlete in a black woman's sport. And then like fast forward a year, Aaliyah Boston, who was an absolute like dominating force in women's college basketball this year, won the national championship, player of the year, didn't get an invite, didn't get to accept the award, which she ended up winning. And so there was a little controversy there. And then I thought that it was ironic too that they did this whole thing for Brittany Griner and like the We Are BG thing, but it's like one of the ways to support female athletes, especially black women who play basketball, is to like give them visibility so that hopefully in 10 years they don't have to go abroad to play, and then the situation like this doesn't happen. So I thought it was very like frustrating to see that. But that's literally my only ESPYs take because I didn't watch. I just saw like 3 clips on.
Some of this stuff changed. I think it was Skipper. We'll talk to Skipper tomorrow about all the stuff happening in sports business. There's plenty to cover. But I think it was Skipper's decision to give Caitlyn Jenner or have ESPN at that moment become a political thing because they gave a courage award to Caitlyn Jenner. And since then, it seemed to me like the only thing coming from the ESPYs is, can I get mad about something? Whether it's, why is Klay Thompson the comeback player of the year? Or is there something that I can get mad at because that's not my politics, or underrepresentation because the ESPYs isn't doing anything? To me, those are the talking points that spring from it. There were not viral moments from Steph during the mocking of things, the attempts at comedy. Was there anything that spread from the slowest night in sports, but a giant, like, those things are really hard to pull off. They're giant, expensive
was Steph
events.
good at it? Was he a good, like, I didn't watch a second of it. Was Steph good? Was he comfortable? Was he funny?
He had a drink in his hand. I saw that.
Yeah, he was trying to be a welcoming host. He assumed the character. Like, not all of his jokes came off brilliantly. He was also a 2-hand microphone holder. That's a one hand. You have to have good mic technique. That's what I was thinking about while watching it. But he made a joke at LeBron's expense that has gone fairly viral. There was a moment where Draymond Green was podcasting in the middle of the show. You know, like, the ESPYs are very societal, I will say. Like, they do a lot of pieces. You know, the Muhammad Ali Award and all that stuff. There was a whole, actually, for me, the best portion of the evening was they did a whole piece on the Klitschko brothers and what they've been doing in Ukraine, actually doing work on the ground there. And we actually got to see them in action doing the things that they've been doing. That was a really memorable piece that I took away from that. But no, I mean, in terms of the viral moment, the Norm Macdonald moment is not happening again. They don't touch that third rail very often. It's very much a celebration of sports.
Jessica, do you know what the Norm Macdonald moment is? Because we've been talking this week about access and the illusion of access and how the future of sports is going to have to be more real. That reality television, we all know it's kind of fake. And what I'm telling you is Wired for Sound and all the stuff that has all the conflicts to make it so that everything's edited. What you get for access on mic'd up things in sports, it's reality television. Like, it's what they want you to have. It's not the real good stuff.
I just feel like award shows, like the last few years, I just can't get into them anymore. I feel like I really liked them when I was younger, and now I'm like,
I'm with you.
I just feel like they're so manufactured.
But do you know the Norm Macdonald moment?
Because made fun of OJ or whatever.
Well, where it ended, where ESPN stopped with the edgy content symbolically, is Norm Macdonald insulted the athletes when they came over, and we can't have that. Not in the name of comedy, not in the name of celebration, not in the name of anything. So John Elway is getting his long teeth made fun of, or O.J. Simpson jokes, or Ken Griffey's just seething in the audience. They're not laughing. They're there to be celebrated. They're there to pick up their awards. They're there to be serious, and Norm Macdonald doesn't give one flying fuck what they're there for. And
how about you get over yourselves, athletes?
No, that's not get over yourselves. We're going to reward it. Norm Macdonald, get out of here. We're going to change the way we do this. Never again is this going to happen. Never again.
It was dangerous.
I mean, who would show up somewhere if the whole premise was, come here and we'll make fun of you?
Is that the White House Correspondents' Dinner every year?
Politics has more of a sense of humor than sports.
And roasts. Don't forget the roasts.
Every other award show, when comedians
you go
make
to
fun
an
of
award
people,
show,
Globes
know.
are like known for the host
Right.
being like really, edgy.
Ricky Gervais.
Quote,
right?
in quotes.
Yeah.
You saw what
I
happened
love
during the
that.
Academy Awards.
I love that
Got
so
physical.
much, though. Gervais going into the buzzsaw and just insulting the self-seriousness of these people. It is unbelievably funny.
But
that you can do it everywhere but sports.
They're so different, though. Like, when you're playing a character in a movie, it's not like, it's just it's more of an art form than like I guess you could still call sports an art form if you're playing well or whatever, but like it's just not the same thing. Like I don't know, the things that you use in your brain to do it, maybe there's some link there, but you don't want to get made fun of if you're an athlete and you've been told how great you are most of your life, and then you're sitting in a room full of other athletes that you want to like respect you. Yeah, like I can see why athletes are more sensitive than Hollywood actors that probably
Just because of the competitive nature.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just not really the same thing.
Entertainers are there in our minds to entertain. I don't know what you're doing there, Jessica. Why are you laughing
Honestly,
at her right there?
I feel
Because
like
afterwards I said,
couldn't have
"Well said,
sounded
Jess."
stupider.
What did you
I mean,
say?
this guy's
making
I'm
fun of
not even
people
certain
here.
what your point was.
My
I
point
mean,
is just like they're not the
Athletes
same
take
thing.
themselves
so
more
I don't know why
seriously?
you need
I
to
mean-
treat like a fake sports award show like it's the Golden Globes. It's not. It's a fake sports award show, and one's a fake movie award.
But I don't
show.
really know you. You were differentiating them. And
Yeah,
I
they're
don't really-
different.
Good
Like-
try.
Thank you.
No, it was a great effort. It's one of my words. It's like
It's a
top 10
tough
most
one.
difficult words.
Let's all say it. Witty, say it.
Which word?
Differentiate.
Differentiate.
It's a tough one, Chris.
Dan said
I
it
was
first for you.
complimenting you. It was a compliment. You were close.
That's close enough. We could have just kept the train moving.
Well,
after I
well,
just,
well,
but
funny,
after
funny
well,
for you to say that.
Right,
Chris.
exactly. Chris, let's be real. What happened there is the microphone's turned off and Chris just goes, well said.
Yeah.
We were all thinking
No,
it.
you
But Chris,
listen,
I had to be
look,
the one who
well,
said
usually
it.
I
and
get
make
that
Jessica
shit, so
say
I need to
it.
give it back to somebody.
I was
No, you
thinking
don't.
it too. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I didn't watch the ESPYs. I gave you my only serious point about women's sports. You guys don't have anything on that, so we moved on to Norm Macdonald. So now we're here.
Woody is right, though. I mean, the guy, he wants me to keep the train moving, yet he just stopped the train on you. I mean,
Choo choo.
Off air, I did that.
I will tell you what just happened from my perspective because Jessica can't see what actually happened there, which is the reddest guy we've got became more jiggling and red, laughing at how poorly she had made a point that she was clearly leaking confidence on. And as she
That's what I related to.
As
Leaking confidence.
No, you didn't relate though. You turned off your microphone and you roared with laughter that I would have liked having on air as Jessica leaked confidence because Jessica got midway through that point, said I don't know out loud and didn't have anything after that, and that's when your laughter started.
I mean, sports, acting, they're different. That's my point.
Okay.
I also
Why
like,
are we comparing
you have
them?
actors not being self-serious about their work.
No,
That-
actors are self-serious, but some actors are in comedy. Some actors are writers. Like, they're more used to that spotlight and getting made fun of, I think. Athletes aren't. Like, a lot of them are insulated from that.
Will Smith handled it well. I mean,
I'd like to explore the space that she's talking about there, though, because I think it's not something I'd considered before we were having this conversation, but I think that the audience for the first time might be thinking about the idea of, well, wait a minute, shouldn't athletes have a sense of humor about themselves? Because it was the argument we were having at ESPN when Norm Macdonald was never invited back or no one else.
Well, I'm sure
like him.
I'm sure some are used to it. I'm not like trying to speak for all athletes here, but I think probably when you walk into the room at the ESPYs the first time that there's a comedian hosting it, you're probably not expecting it. And so the expectation is what then is like a slap in the face.
right. I think athletes like to make fun of themselves and other athletes. They don't like comedians making fun of them, right?
But to have Steph
Like that's
Curry,
the locker room
Look,
stuff,
this
right?
is Stugotz, though. The navigations on this.
Draymond can make fun of me. Norm Macdonald cannot.
Well, Steph Curry was hosting. He's got joke writers, and he made jokes at LeBron's expense that he had to okay because those jokes came out.
LeBron or Steph?
They're not his jokes. They're not Steph's jokes. LeBron was not there. Steph had to okay jokes. My guess is there are only so many jokes that Steph is going to okay. My guess is the writers want to go a little harder, and Steph's like, But those dilutions to me, I find it interesting, Jessica, because I think athletes, entertainers of all kinds, everyone should be able to take a good public ribbing. Like that, it's more entertaining for everybody. If it's not mean, if it's just funny, if we can play. And now I know that's different for everybody because if you're super sensitive, it might not be funny. That's what happened with Ken Griffey and John Elway. It's again why Norm Macdonald or no one like him was ever allowed to host that show again.
Right, but it's like an optional attendance thing. Like they're probably getting paid to go to it, right? So like,
Giant gift bags,
Right,
big,
I'm-
nice gift bags.
why would you go if you're like, oh, maybe something mean's gonna happen to me there? I'll just stay home because this doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with anything. People are barely gonna talk about it. It's not that like big of an event anymore. What's the point?
Like your take on it, Jess, applies to both actors and athletes, though. Like you're kind of you're
exactly,
separating
I think
those.
all award shows are kind of stupid.
No,
Right,
but,
but the
there's one distinguishable difference, which is athletes have already won the award that they want to win before they've shown up to the ESPYs. There's nobody who says 6-time ESPY winner Klay Thompson. It's
Right.
It's 2-time NBA champion. Whereas the Golden Globes, to a lesser extent, now and obviously the Golden Globes happen, and
That is their championship.
right, exactly. That is the championship.
Right.
That is the coronation. So you'll show up for
it's
the ribbing.
An event that you go. There's an economy around the event to go and be seen and wear a certain designer's outfit and be photographed, so people will talk about you. And there's like an entire economy around it that the ESPYs don't have that.
I feel like Witty's point though makes the athletes should take it more than the
it
actors.
should be less serious.
Like the athletes have already won. They're the best. Like you're the champion, Steph Curry or
Right.
Klay. If I make a joke about you, you're already like the best at your sport. Eat it. Whereas an actor that's never won an Oscar, if he's been nominated 6 times, he's getting made fun of for that. That actually like stings. I don't know. I just think they should all take it. I'm with Dan.
Well
Like
said.
Like Susan
I
Lucci.
feel like that was decent. I was like a 6.
Again, she was leaking confidence and you roared with laughter behind her because you were enjoying that she fell apart midpoint. And then what happens? Her resentment leaks out and she points out correctly that none of us had anything on what she wanted to talk about. Nothing. Like she didn't get a syllable of help there. Not one. And then we went back to her. And she's like, I'm out of material here. You guys didn't help me. Athletes are different. They use different parts of their brain. And you're right. You're inviting them to a party so you can insult me? I won't go to your party.
I mean, if you called it the roast of our country's greatest athletes and Jeff Ross was stood on the stage, then maybe people would show up for it and be down for it. But that's not what it is. It's an award
That's
show.
a way better idea.
So much
The
better.
roast
So
of
much
our
better.
nation's favorite athletes.
We can't do it one night. We do it every single day.
It should just be
Sports
this week.
television, it's
This
sports
week,
radio.
After the MLB All-Star game, the rest of the week should be a 3-part roast special of
Athlete
America's
roast.
America's greatest athletes.
Put it on the poll, Chris Cody. Should the ESPYs change to a roast format? How much better would these next 3 days be if the award gala was just Stugotz out there belching jokes at the expense of champion Klay Thompson?
Just looking Kevin Durant in the eyes. Still no championships. My personal record book.
I'd be out of material after that.
I have to get Mike Schur to write jokes for you.